Hi, Jim Crimmins from Traders Accounting. One of the most often asked questions I get when I'm teaching seminars or at a trade show is there an easy way for me to know what kind of business would work best for me? Well, generally the answer is no, there is not an easy way, because there's no cookie cutter approach to tax savings. Each type of business is going to give you pluses and minuses. And because each trader has a different set of circumstances, you really need to sit down with a professional of some type to go through the various types of businesses that you could set up. Now, you could operate as a sole proprietor, which is trader status, or trader in securities, you may have heard it called. You could trade as an LLC. You want to be a partnership as an LLC, so there has to be two members. A limited partnership, or a C corporation. All of those are viable entities and viable businesses to trade in. As you're considering which of these businesses would be the most tax efficient for you to trade in, you've also got to think about how are you going to set it up? If you're going to go for an entity, how do you go about setting it up? Well, you've heard on CNBC and MSNBC all these ads for these lowball tactics. Firms advertise that they'll set up an entity for you for free sometimes. Sometimes it's $125. I've heard all sorts of prices. But when you get to their sales page, after you add up everything that you're going to need, if you even know all of the things you're going to need, it becomes a larger amount. And not only that, it's not even set up for trading. It's just a boilerplate set of languages that sets up an LLC. So, and the other thing that I get the kick out of is, you ever have a question? Man, you are not going to find a person to talk to. You can go to their FAQ page, but very seldom. Now, the next set of people that'll try to get you to set one up, and if you've gone to a trading seminar, you may have seen these folks, the Nevada corporate puppy mills. They push so many hot buttons on you that you know damn well that you better set up a Nevada whatever today, because if you don't, you're going to go right straight the wrong way. And they do press these hot buttons, which are not entirely false, but by the law of omission, or the sin of omission, they leave a lot of things out. They don't tell you about the nexus laws. Nexus means that each state has a law that says if you live in that state, you need to operate your business out of that state. They forget to tell you that. Generally, every time I've done a study for someone on how much it would cost them to set up their entity in Nevada as opposed to the state that they live in, it's much, much cheaper to set it up in the state that you live in. Because if you set it up in a state that you don't live in, you're going to have to hire someone to forward your mail and to be your legal representative in that state. And that's where these corporate puppy mills get it. It's called the ka-ching factor. Yeah, ka-ching, like cash register ringing. Because each year you have to have that resident agent, and each year they're going to charge you between $500 and $1,000. It's residual income. Now, a lot of people that I talk to think they can set it up themselves, and if you've got experience in that area, you certainly can. But I'm going to tell you, I see more problems brought about by people who think they have set up an entity, and they're audited by the IRS, and suddenly they realize they did not set up an entity. They think or thought that by sending $100 into their state and getting a single or two pieces of paper back, that they'd set up an LLC or a corporation. Well, that's the first step. That's the state giving you the authority to set up an entity in that state. When you actually set up an entity, you're going to have about that much legal paperwork in addition to that 1 or 2 pages that you got. So be careful, because if you don't set it up correctly, if the IRS comes around, that's the first thing they're going to look at. Secondly, if you're ever sued, The biggest lawsuit is the piercing of the corporate veil. So make sure it's set up right. It doesn't cost you that much. And if you're a trader, why would you want to take your valuable time away from trading to set up an entity that you know nothing about? At Traders Accounting, we have an entity setup department. We only charge $395 to set up an entity in any state. Now you have to pay the state filing fee in addition to that $395. As I indicated before, it's normally around $100. But it'll get it set up properly for you, and it will get it set up for a trading business for you. In addition, hey, we got live people here. You can even call me if you've got a question, and you get a free 30-minute coaching call after you've set it up to go through how you get started and the things that you need to do. I hope you found the information that I shared with you in this video to be helpful, and that you now have a better understanding of the subject. The IRS has never made taxation simple, and for traders, I think they must have even tried harder to make it just a little more confusing than with other businesses you might be in. My mission at Traders Accounting has always been to make trader tax less of a burden for traders by providing services that allow you to focus on your trading and leave all the rest to our accounting professionals. Good trading to you, and don't forget to take advantage of my free material and offer that you can find at tradersaccounting.com/video.